Just, a player your age doesn't often get invited to a camp like this. It's just so loaded with talent. Did it come as a surprise to you, or was it something that was on your radar last season and through the summer as a goal?
Yeah, obviously it was a goal for me. Going to last year, I know I felt like, I had a pretty strong season, pretty strong end of the season as well. So obviously I was looking forward to, the start of the season. And obviously, because our season, got pushed back, I wasn't able to start, but I definitely feel like, my play from last year definitely gave me a chance to be invited to this camp. So.
And you played against older players, played with older players for a long time, but were there nerves walking into that locker room?
A little bit, but I'm used to being a young player. I'm used to being the youngest guy in the team. I know I'm here for the reason. I know I'm here because I can make this team. I'm good enough to make this team. So I wasn't too nervous walking in. Just mostly excitement, actually.
Hey Shane, just to follow up to Josh's line of questioning there, and thanks for doing this today. How much motivation or inspiration do you take from a guy like Lafreniere 2 years ago in Vancouver, being able to play so young and eventually, as the tournament went on, take a bigger role?
Yeah, obviously, it's nice it's pretty cool being, a young player being named this team. Obviously, no matter what age you are, it's an honor being named to this team and even just being invited to the camp. So he's a special player as well. He's a fun guy to watch, and I'm just as fortunate. So.
Hi, Shane. I'm wondering what it's like rooming with Bowen Byram. We understand he's quite the personality.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy to be with. He's a funny guy to be around and to talk with. He has some good stories as well, and I'm pretty lucky to have him as a roommate.
Looks like you may have led the stretch at the end of the skate today. What was that moment like?
Yeah, it was actually Bo who told me to hop in the middle, lead the stretch for the boys. So I know I just took his lead and just went and led the stretch for everyone.
This is for Shane. Question. I saw a picture of a garage door where you had a million dents in it. And I know Crosby had the dryer that he shot all the pucks at. Have you fixed the door? And when you sign your contract, are you going to get a new door? And the other question I have for you is, it seems like you're more of a shooter than a passer as centers, and most centers in the NHL, apart from maybe Draisaitl, the last couple of years has been a playmaker. Is that part of your repertoire, more shooting than passing?
Yeah, the garage door is a funny story. I always used to shoot pucks in my driveway like a lot of kids. And we never had – it was pretty much just the net up against the bare garage. So whenever I'd miss the net, I'd put a pretty big hole in the garage, and eventually got to the point where my parents had to put a tarp up. So they didn't want me to keep breaking the garage. And a few years back, they ended up taking that one down, getting a new one, and I was no longer allowed to shoot against that garage. So always a good story. And then I feel like going to last year. I wouldn't really consider myself, a shooter or a playmaker. I feel like, I can do both. I feel like I can score when I need to, but I feel like I can set up guys as well. I think I just try to, take whatever opportunity is there and make the most of every opportunity I have.
And are you a perfectionist?
Yeah, I would consider myself a perfectionist. I'm never, comfortable with where my skills are at. I'm never, complacent with where my game's at. So I'm always trying to find, little things to make myself better, little things to help improve on, and, little things that, give me the edge over my opponents. So.
Hi, Shane. Looking at some of the other 16-year-olds who've played for Canada, names like Gretzky, Crosby, and McDavid, have you given much thought about what it'd be like to join that group of players?
Obviously a little bit. It's definitely crossed my mind. The World Junior is such a special tournament. It's something that, I grew up watching, and those are players that, I grew up watching as well. So, if I'm lucky enough to make the team, it'd be, really special for me and truly an honor to me to be in the same category as those guys.
Hey, Shane. So you touched on this a little bit, but how big a tournament is the World Junior Championship in the Wright home around the holidays? And what is your favorite World Junior memory?
Yeah, this World Juniors is definitely something that, my whole family watches. It's something that, I grew up watching. I've been watching every single year, I think. It's always special for me because, the finals is always on my birthday, January 5th. So it's nice birthday tradition and birthday celebration for me to, watch Canada in the gold medal game. And it's, yeah.
Just as a follow-up, Shane, everyone has their own opinions, but what do you believe to be your best asset as a player, and why?
I think my best asset is my hockey IQ. I think the game really well. I think that I make smart plays, and I think I can read off my teammates and read defenders. I think just my hockey IQ, my hockey brain, I think are the best assets for me.
Shane, you play Ottawa 8 times a year. They've been a tough team. André Tourigny had some kind words for you in your progression last year, and how after Christmas time you were the best player on the ice. Did you maybe already have a sense of what his playing style is, having been so familiar with Ottawa as an opponent? And maybe just a couple words on the opportunity to play under his guidance.
Yeah, obviously it was never fun playing against them. They're such a strong team, and obviously André is such a strong coach, such a smart coach. I think I didn't really learn a lot from their play, but I feel like I got a sense that he's such a smart guy, and he's really strong hockey mind, and he's definitely someone I'm really looking forward to learn more from, and hoping he can teach me lots in this camp.
Connor, I'm curious what you learned from going through the bubble experience and with Washington, and have you talked to Hendrix Lapierre at all about maybe eventually playing together in Washington, what that would be like?
Yeah, I mean, the bubble is really cool. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be in a bubble with all the other NHL teams. So that was just something that I had to soak all in. And just watching the pros go to work and practice every day in the playoff atmosphere is really cool for me. And as for Hendrix, I actually just met him yesterday when he arrived at camp. And he seems like a really nice kid. And we haven't really got the chance to talk too much. But so far, I like him. And, I hope we can build some chemistry.
And Connor, just as far as the things that you learned, Kirby Doc talked a little bit about it yesterday. Were there experiences in the bubble that you think are going to help you now going back into a second bubble here in Red Deer for about a month?
Yeah, it's being in a bubble, obviously away from your family and friends. It's a little tough, but you kind of just learn that mental mindset to stay strong and just reach your ultimate goals, which is to win the gold medal. So I think we got a really great group of guys here, and it won't be hard to keep your mind focused on winning a gold medal.
Hi, Connor. I'm wondering what it was like going up against Shane Wright last year in the I think you faced him a couple times, pretty spread out apart. What did you notice about how he developed last year?
Yeah, he's just an unbelievable player. I mean, for coming in as a 15-year-old, turning 16, it was just awesome to play against him, and just how mature and how sound he is on the ice. It's unbelievable. So playing him first game against him, I think it was in October, to the last time we played him around February. It was he developed a lot, and he got a lot bigger and stronger. And he's just a really tough player to play against, and obviously he's pretty unreal.
Hi, guys. One for Connor to start, and then Dawson to follow, if you don't mind. Connor, last year, obviously, you had the Hunters as coach and GM, and so you knew them very well, but you had André on the bench. I'm wondering what stands out to you now with André as head coach, and traits from last year's team as champions to bring over to this year's team?
Yeah, I mean, André, he's a great coach. He has really good systems that we're all trying to learn, and it's a little bit different than last year, but I mean, he's a great coach. You've seen what he's done with the 67s over the years, and I'm just really excited to play for him. And I think he's got a really good opportunity in front of him, and he's going to take full advantage of it. So I'm really excited to get the tournament going under Bear.
In addition to having that camaraderie and getting to know your teammates, is there something else you can pinpoint to being critical in creating a championship caliber team in a short tournament such as this?
Yeah, I think we have a big opportunity in front of us, obviously, to repeat gold, and having an extra long camp than other past years. I think it's going to help us a lot, learn the new systems, perfect the way we want to play, and just get a lot of practices under our belt. So I think it's going to be good to build chemistry and learn the new systems under Bear. And I think we got a lot of opportunities ahead of us, and me and Merce are just really excited to hopefully defend.
Hello, André. I can only imagine in a regular year how many plans you have from A to F to continuing that, but this is not even a usual year. So when you look at your roster and you have guys that might leave for the NHL, you might have players that come and go depending right now, even a camp, not your full complement. How do you plan ahead for so many things that might change your roster?
In a hockey, John, we always say, one day we don't know what will happen tomorrow. We might have an injury, we might have a key player, we might have in a team setting, we might have a trade, we might have something. So at some point, you have a plan on how you want your team to play, how you want your team to look, but you need to focus on what you have to do today. So today was a great day. We were in the ice, worked hard. I really like what the boys did. We move forward. We're better than we were yesterday. It's a great day. That's the only thing we could do today. If we start to focus on all the point you mentioned, what can happen in the NHL, what can happen with the pandemic, we won't move forward. So we move forward. We're happy about what happened today.
Thanks, André. Just one follow-up, if you don't mind. Dawson Mercer, we were just speaking with him, and he was saying that there's so much skill, obviously, when Canada puts teams together, and this one no exception, but the attention will be on the defensive side to make sure that's sound and let the skill come from there. Is that something you identified early as a game plan?
Yeah, for sure we want to be responsible defensively, but one of our main thing as well is to make sure we play good defensively so we can recover the puck and play with the puck. We want to be a team possession puck. We want to possess the puck. We want to have the puck a lot. In order to do that, you need to be smart with the puck, and you need to be really good defensively, aggressive, puck recovery and all of it. So I cannot say we will be a defensive-minded team. That's not what we want to be. We want to be the reverse. We want to be a puck possession team. But in order to do that, we need to be really good when we don't have the puck.
I also wanted to ask, Shane Wright was talking about being roomed with Bo and Byram, who volunteered him to lead the stretch after the practice today. We know Bo has quite the big personality. What do you think that will do for Shane to be with him?
Well, it can be just positive. I think Bo is such a high tempo and charismatic guy. I think it will be good for Shane to be around him. Shane is so serious, and right now he wants to do so well. He's really focused. He wants to do every detail. He wants to please us. So it will be good to be again around Bo and loose it up a little bit.
Hi, Coach. I have a question about your goaltending. How are you going to handle it? You know, you've got 5 guys who I don't know how much you're super familiar with, maybe the 2 guys in the Ontario League. How much will you lean on your own decision-making and Jason LaBarbera? How big a role is he going to have in deciding, you know, how you go from 5 to 2 really for the tournament?
I have a tremendous faith in Jason. Is read of the potential of a goalie and what the goalie can bring. And I worked with Jason at the Linka, Gretzky Linka 2 years ago, and he was really good for our goalie and took the right decision. Last year was the same. I think, I will rely heavily on him, but at the same time, it's not only on Jason. I think as a coaching staff, we must be comfortable with our goalie. We must be comfortable with the guy who will be in front, behind our team, and we'll take a team decision. But for sure, the trust in Jason is huge.
And as far as Brochu and Lennox, what have you remember from seeing them when you've played against London and Saginaw the last year or two?
They're different. Lennox is a big guy, really athletic. Move really well, has all the attribute. In terms of Brochu, he's a smaller guy, but really competitive. The puck doesn't go through or under him. You need to go around him, and he play a really more structured game. So both guys are super competitive. So I like those kind of guy. So that's why they're here. We're confident that those guys can get the job done.
Obviously, last year winning the gold medal, I'm just curious what you learned from working alongside Dale and Mark Hunter, which you'll apply to you as the head coach this year for the team.
I think one of the big things I mentioned in French is the humility. I think those guys, they're never too high, never too low. They stay even keel. They'll talk to us before the tournament, and for him was really important. And Mark was the same. It was key message for them. And where one example is when the Russian score the 3rd goal in the gold medal game. The reaction of Dale on the bench and all the coach, I think we were all tuned in. But that was the message of those guys at the beginning of the tournament who make that happen. We just stay level and just next man up, next shift. We stayed with it, and guess what? We scored the next shift, and we came back in the game, and now it's 3-2, and the rest is history. But I think that mindset of those guys, they work harder than anybody, and they're super humble, and I really appreciate that from them, and that's something I will bring with me.
Right, and just a follow-up for you really quickly. 11 of 14 absent players yesterday were all accounted for this morning in practices. Can you talk about your first impressions when you look at a handful of them, such as Harley and Mercer?
Well, Tom Harley was a man out there. I think the way he skate, the way he played, his composure out there, he will bring a lot to our team. I think he was really good, especially early in the practice. And for Mercer, he brings energy. He has really good personality. It's a high tempo, and he's coached him before, so he's comfy a little bit with me and Lover and guys who coach him before. So there's a kind of a relationship build there. So that for sure that helped.